Alright, so you're probably asking yourself why you're looking at this house right here. Well, one day, me and my friend were out of practice, band practice, and we were just kind of standing there and kind of talking outside. And one day, that day, he told me about like this thing that happened to him. I guess they were kind of searching this up because they wanted to see the house on Google. And I guess his little nephew, he kind of scrolled up and he saw something. And he saw that object, if you guys can see that right there.
Oh my
Like
God.
right here. Yeah, and that thing kind of got him scared, and so he was talking to me about it, and we started talking about all these myths about 2012 and stuff. And yeah. So today I'm going to inform you about 2012 and its different myths to see what you guys think about it. So this happened a couple months, like I said, at his house. And ever since I've been kind of researching about it a little. And I also watched the movie 2012. Maybe you guys have watched it. I'm sure a bunch of you have kind of like heard in the news and stuff about all these things that can happen in 2012 and how it's going to end and stuff. So today I'll discuss some different theories that are believed to happen in 2012, like the theory of the Mayans, the aliens invading the Earth, Nostradamus predictions, the environmental collapse, planet X hitting the Earth, a supervolcano erupting, and numerology. Alright, so first I'm going to talk about the Mayans. So I'm pretty sure all of you have kind of heard something about the Mayans predicting the end of the world. According to articlebase.com, the ancient peoples of Mesoamerica were of a vast intercontinental empire filled with rich art, education, and destruction. The Mayan calendar starts 3113 BC and ends December 21st, 2012. The Mayans have accurately described various astronomical events. And so now I'm going to move on to aliens invading the Earth. So according to ArmageddonOnline.com, the reasoning behind an invasion could stem from many number of things. Their own planet could be in the grip of overpopulation, that they have depleted their own native resources and drained the planet. Overpollution is as well another possibility for their migrations. If there were resources native to only a few planets, Earth included, this would be another cause for invasion. So now I'm going to move on to Nostradamus predictions. Nostradamus was a French physician and astrologer who wrote a volume that explained many things that came true, including the end of the world in 2012. According to what will happen in 2012.com, Nostradamus' predictions have merit because many of his prophecies predicting events from the 500s through 2012 have come true. So now I'm going to move on to environmental collapse. According to ArmageddonOnline.com, few people doubt that the planet hasn't been getting at least warmer, whatever the cause they want to believe in. The Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change issued a 2001 report that concluded the global temperature had risen 0.6 degrees Celsius over to the 20th century, with the 1990s being most likely the warmest recorded since the records began in the mid-1800s. But that's not helping with our air pollution and stuff. It's not doubtful that this environmental collapse can happen. So I'm going to move on to Planet X. According to what will happen 2012.com, Nibiru will again pass Earth sometime between now and 2012, but on a much closer and most critical orbit, the closest yet since the last galactic alignment, almost 26,000 years ago. The passing of Nibiru can cause nearly complete melting of the poles and glaciers, drastically raising the water level of oceans, resulting in horrific worldwide flooding and massive tidal waves as ice liquefies and rushes to fill the natural flow patterns present before the time it floods. And so now I'm going to move on to supervolcano erupting. According to ArmageddonOnline.com, a supervolcanic eruption refers to a volcano that produces the largest and most voluminous kinds of eruptions on Earth. The actual explosivity of these eruptions varies, but the sheer volume of extruded magma is immense enough to radically alter the landscape and severely impact global climate for years with a cataclysmic effect on life. And now I'm going to move on to numerology. So according to December 21st, 2012.com, in numerology, every number has a corresponding letter associated with it. The date 12/21/12 reads as A, B, B, A, B. When you consider that the Hebrew language is read from right to left, This day would read B-A-A-B-B-A. And the Hebrew translation for B-A-A-B-B-A is Father comes, is coming. So today I have talked to you about the different myths surrounding the end of the world in 2012. I have talked to you about the theory of the Mayans, the aliens invading the Earth, Nostradamus' predictions, environmental collapse, Planet X hitting the Earth, a supervolcano erupting, and numerology. So I know that all of you are thinking some of this stuff could be fake and some of this stuff could be scaring you pretty much. But I'm going to leave that all up to you. Thanks.
Wait, what was in the sky? I didn't see it.
It looks like a
Yes.
UFO.
And then the second one is like
Yeah,
it looked like a flare.
Or is it?
Tea makes you hyper. It takes me like 8 cups of coffee to get a buzz. It takes me like 8 cups of coffee to get a buzz going. So. Yeah.
I was like getting like 3.
Oh really? I remember I just took easy.
I like the berry lemon Xavier. Berry lemon Xavier. Or is something? I like milk.
All right, the opening was a little odd, but you finally get to the point. We know what the topic area is going to be. You do a preview. It sounds like it's awfully extensive, and as it turns out, it is accurate because you're kind of rushing through this long list of items, and we don't really get a lot of explanation on the individual points. I think it might have made more sense to pick 2 or 3 of these and try and talk about them in a little bit more depth rather than just listing them. It becomes problematic because your transitions emphasize the nature of the fact that this is just a list. So now I'm going to, so now I'm going to, so now I'm going to, and it just keeps repeating itself over and over again, and it makes it sound like this laundry list of things that you're going through instead of talking about them. You need to be a little bit more creative about those kinds of things and then talk about each of those things. Even, make a little joke. Well, if that's not bad enough for you to worry about, let me tell you, here's something else that could keep you up at nights. How about worrying about a supervolcano? Maybe we'll be incinerated or just die of asphyxiation because the sky is covered. Here's what the theory is at apocalypse.com or whatever the website is that you go to. But you got to have something that makes it a little bit more interesting. Otherwise, it just sounds like, I'll have the jumbo shrimp, I'll have the hamburger, I'll have the french fries, I'll have the ice cream, I'll have the dessert plate. It's like another list, and it's got to be a little bit more involving than that. Presentation issues, I just told somebody I think they're better off if they'd move the podium forward, which you then did and spoke behind, which I think it's better than leaning over the podium there, but you do tend to just look down and read the whole time, and that's one of the problems when people have that script on the podium in front of them. They disengage from the audience, and you need to do a little bit more engagement with the audience. Look, we can hear you. You're saying everything relatively clearly, but it doesn't feel like a speech. It feels like you're reading in front of an audience, and that's a drawback. This is a speech where we're emphasizing delivery skills, and there just didn't seem to be much emphasis on those points. All right, thank you.